And from a room next to my bathroom, this is My Worst Holiday. It's a podcast about your worst wedding, your worst funeral, bachelor party, bachelorette party, or whatever's funny after the fact. We want to hear it. And today, we have a very special guest, Jene Williams. Baby, say hello.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Well, I guess they're okay. I can't see them, but I guess everybody's okay. But you're absolutely lovely. I'm so happy you came on my show.
Thank
An
you.
award-winning author,
Yes,
okay,
yes, I am.
filmmaker, or your movie. Anyway, so.
Yes, my first book is a movie. 5-time self-published author. 2 of them are Amazon bestsellers. 2-time award-winning author, and yes, my first book is a movie on my website. Yes.
Fantastic. So tell us all about you. Hey, where'd you come from? What do you got going on? I just want to know everything about. Do I call you E? Do I call you Jene? Miss Williams?
It's Jene. So Jene is my middle name. Yeah, that's okay because that's a catchy thing.
Very Caucasian. Look at this guy.
It's okay. Everybody do it.
If you get me in the right light, I'm transparent.
You're so silly. Look, everybody make that mistake, and that's okay. I blame it on my mom and dad, because they spelled it Jene, which is my real middle name, and they have the line on the last E that symbolizes a sound. So it's Jene. Right. So my first name is Edwina, which is the E, and then my middle name is
Jene anyway. So I like that better.
Yep.
Gives us some snap,
bam.
Bam. That's what it gives.
Yeah. So I was born and raised in Linden, Alabama, a little small town on the west side, southwest side of Alabama. I think it's the west. Yeah, East Mississippi. Yeah, we West Alabama. Yeah, that's right. So southwest side of Alabama. And I lived in Atlanta for over 15 years. I lived in South Carolina for a few years. But yeah, South Carolina was nice.
Like near the ocean or away from the ocean?
Well, I lived in Charleston, but I lived mostly mainland, but it was so many islands that is uncharted territories in that Charleston area because I worked on the naval base when I went
to Tybee Island.
Yes.
And I got stung. My friends were just there. They were just there at Tybee Island. And big South Carolina loving people. But I got stung by a jellyfish. And that's what I remember about being there. Because when I was a kid, because I'm old as fuck. So all you had on TV was you had Jacques Cousteau. And he'd be like, "This is a deadly man of war jellyfish. Its sting is death." And so I think in my mind, fucking jellyfish will kill you.
Right.
So there I go. I'm getting ready to go swim. They're like, "Watch out for jellyfish," and I'm like, that's fucking funny. And then I've been swimming for an hour, and all of a sudden, bam, I get fucking hit, lights my leg up, and I'm running out of the ocean, and I'm screaming, "I've been stung by a jellyfish! I've been stung by a jellyfish!" And nobody fucking cared.
Right.
I think I'm gonna die.
But you won, though. Yes.
I'm gonna die.
No.
But this lady's like nobody cares. I'm looking around nobody fucking cares.
They're like, it's just a jellyfish.
And this lady hands me this thing, this little gel. It says jellyfish gel on it. She goes, "Put this on it."
Like you making up all that noise. Just put this on it.
I'm in high school. I'm young. I'm in high school. I'm like,
right.
This will cure me? She's like, "Yeah, it'll cure you." Okay,
let's go.
God bless you, you angel from heaven.
Right, from jellyfish heaven.
Just a jellyfish. Anyway, go ahead. Go on with your.
That It's awesome. Yeah. So I love Charleston. That was the place I would like to move back to. But I lived in Atlanta for 15 years, and now I'm here in Columbus with my husband, Columbus, Georgia.
Okay.
And we have 6 kids together. I birthed 2 of the 6. One is in college, one is headed to college, and we set up
College?
twins. Yes.
You got a kid in college?
Yes.
God, I thought I looked good for my age. Oh, look at you.
Yes. And let's see what the twins are 15. We have 14, then 12. So, yep, we have a little mini people. So, yeah, they're moving on out.
How do you do that? Like, how the fuck do you do that? I've got one daughter. She's 15. I don't know how you keep up. God bless you. You're a trooper. You're a trooper.
Everybody gets their time when they want it, and then when they want to be by themselves, they go on about their life, and they'll call when they want something. Useless money, but they'll call. So yes,
awesome. So tell us about your career and everything, how you got started, and tell us about your books, and tell us everything about you.
Absolutely. So December the 3rd, 2018, my 9-year-old niece committed suicide due to bullying in school. Oh. And after that happened, I don't even know how it all came about. Even looking back and thinking just right now, what happened? So I immediately jumped into the role of the spokesperson for my family. I became a motivational speaker, speaking about bullying, suicide, and grief counseling. But in the beginning, it was mostly bullying. I was an advocate against bullying. And as I was digging deep into bullying and all of that it entailed, I found that it was so many adults living in a traumatic state of mind that with triggers that of them, their childhood being bullied, them as a child being bullied. And so many adults had reached out after Mackenzie's suicide, and they were like, I remember when I was in school and this happened to me, and I still live with that. And so that's when I got into the grief counseling and the healing part of it, not only for my family and myself, but even the people that I was speaking to, because we have adults that still live in a childhood mind, and they feel that everything is against them because of how they did not heal from childhood trauma. And it got so real, and I was just like, oh my goodness. So, and then death started happening all around us because COVID took place, and then grief counseling had to be added to this because people didn't understand how to grieve. And we, as a society, that's not something we readily just say, hey, let's talk about death. We're not going to volunteer to talk about death.
I've got a good friend of mine. She lives in San Diego. I'm going to hook you up with her. Brandy, I don't know if you're watching. I love you. But I'm going to hook you up with her because she has a podcast. Well, she started out podcasting about bullying.
Right.
So I'm going to hook you two up so that you can be on her show as well.
Thank you.
She's just beautiful and wonderful as well. So.
And this is Mackenzie. This is her.
Yes.
Yeah, turn it that way.
How can anybody bully? How can anybody bully anybody? I don't get it anyway. When I was a little kid, I was a little kid. I was like they kept me back in kindergarten one year because I was just so fucking tiny.
Oh.
Yeah, like I was just this little fucking as asthmatic and yeah. Fucking tiny, hey, let's pick on that kid,
Right. And then working in the school system, you see so much, and that helped me too with talking with different organizations, going into schools, churches, communities, all of these different places, is because I realized that everything absolutely starts at home. Every single thing starts at home. I don't care what it is, it all starts at home. So even though, we all are adults, not all, but those of us that are adults and we have so much going on, let's really take that time and just find out what's going on with our kids. And if you do have a village, like an aunt or uncle, grandparents, whoever, see if they can speak to your child about bullying in a format of, who did you eat lunch with today? Who you sit by today? And if those things start to change, why you sitting with that person when you usually sit with this person? That's a small little nugget that I always like to drop, because as an educator, it makes a big difference. Like, so wait a minute, you've been walking with them for the past 6 months, and now all of a sudden you with this crowd. What happened?
Yeah. What's going on?
Because we like to make it so. Oh, how was your day? How's your day? Is a broad answer, a broad question. Exactly. Like, everybody can say, oh, it was a great day, because you're gonna outweigh the bad. So it was a good day because my good outweighed the bad. But when you get into the bad, I was sitting on the bus with Charmaine because Peaches had been picking on me. That's the bad that I covered up, because it only happened one time during the day, because I only rode the bus in the morning, not the afternoon. So that good outweighed the bad, which is why that broad question was, how was your day? It's not really the best to get to the point of, is my child being bullied? Is my child being taunted at school or on the bus or wherever?
Right.
Because we have to ask, who you play with today? Who you had lunch with? Mm-hmm. Who you sat with in English class? Those questions.
Well, we always listen to what my daughter would say. Like, anytime she'd say a name we didn't know.
Right.
We'd always say, well, who's that?
Yes.
Or whatever. Tell me about them, or whatever. And I'm a man's man. Like,
yes,
I grew up rough, fighting, like, I was tiny,
Right.
So I always told my daughter, like, fuck it, hit him.
right.
You get in trouble, school calls me. Don't worry. I'll talk to them. Yeah. Don't let that happen to you.
Right.
But we was always like, and that's always the last line.
Absolutely, last result.
Last line. Yes. Never start it. Always finish it.
Absolutely.
And I was always like, who's Sarah? Or who's, tell me about, like, even now she's like 15. God, she's beautiful. And and all her friends are just fantastic. Because you ask these questions. You want them to be around the right people. You want them to be happy.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. So go ahead.
But no, those are the things that we have to take that time to do, because it will make a difference in our children's lives. We really, really have to do that. And so after that, the books came about, and then we shut down for COVID. So I self-published 4 books in the year of 2020. Because what else was there really for us to do? We were out of everything was shut down. Yeah, so I did 4 books in 1 year. That next year, when we came briefly out of COVID, but whatever.
Yeah.
21.
Right.
I filmed my first. I know, right?
Yeah.
So we had a lot that we had to, go through, which was, those safety precautions you got to take. And so in 21, I turned my first book into a movie, filmed that. And then 22, it was released.
Now you filmed it like did you do the entire film? Were you the director, the actor,
I was. I did act a little bit. I just came downstairs. But I was the writer, producer, and director. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yes. And tell everybody where they can find that. Like, everybody.
So they can find my movie and all my books on my website at ejenellc.com. That's EJENELLC.com. And you can stream it right there.
And I want you to drop that on my page.
Okay. I sure will.
Absolutely. Do that.
Yes.
I'm going to promote you as much as I can promote
you.
I can already tell. I like you. So
and I want you in a role in one of my movies too. So yeah. You would be hilarious, especially with some of the team that I'm gonna bring back.
Oh,
And no, seriously, I
stop.
totally understand like why Tyler Perry and some of the big directors, they keep the same people because it is imperative to your screen. They're loyal, they're consistent, they're determined, and they're dedicated to the craft, not just to me, but to the craft and the overall vision that the director, producer, and writer has. And I understand now why, because some of my cast was just,
if you
I
ever need
couldn't ask for a better person.
if you ever need some comedy lines or anything, yeah,
Yeah, that's why.
me know. Yeah, let me
That's why
know.
everything got to have comedy in it. Everything. So that's why I was like, oh yeah,
Even if
he's
it's
gonna
like the
be.
saddest dirgy, well, not everything, because I've seen some really good dirgy movies that I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it a bit, but if I did, it'd ruin it.
Right.
All the IFC stuff. Like watching the Independence.
Right.
Like, yes, no, I want everybody to be miserable. I want
Yes.
everybody to die. I want everybody to come out. Like, I'm trying to get this message through. And
Right.
yes, but like, well, obviously, I like to do comedy, so
Right. Of course, and I love it. Yes, we definitely need comedy. I write. Okay, so my first two books, which is called Living Life After Death, 1 and 2 is about marriage and divorce and all the nastiness that it entails. Backstabbing from family members, and that's what movie 1 is, Living Life After Death, The Revenge. It has a big plot twist in the end. It is slightly different from the book, but I understand why when that happens from book
like,
to
there's no way
movie.
to actually.
So from book to movie, it is a whirlwind of a difference because you write one way in the book and then you have to put it in a script form for people to actually read it and make sense. And it's the sense part
Even the Lord of the
that
Rings,
changes.
like 4 fucking hours of fucking movie, they eliminated entire characters. Like,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
they're not even in there.
And when I say, and when that happens, sometimes is the character that you really wanted to put in does not portray or give off what it is you're looking for in the movie. It just really throws the whole movie. I'm like, well, that's stupid. Take that out.
There's too much more backstory. There's too much more.
That's what happened. It was a lot. I was like, okay, this is stupid. I don't like none of this. We got to rewrite this whole thing. I don't like it. So now that I've been through all of that, so as I go into writing the next, turning the next book into a movie, I know how to write it. But also now that I'm writing more books, which I'm on book number 5, book 5 is written way different than book 1 through 4 because now I know I need to give all of my characters, I don't care if they only say hello, a name. Everybody gotta have a name, okay? It can't just be Holiday Wife. What is her name?
Harold said hello. Yeah, like,
right. She gotta have a name.
You don't see fucking Harold anymore. You're like,
right.
Where the fuck did Harold go? Like,
right. And I'm much more detailed in much more detail.
I like Harold's depth when he said hello. Like,
right.
Where the fuck is more Harold?
Gotta give him a name, no matter how big or small. Gotta have a name.
That will be my role in your movie, and that's Mark.
You're gonna be hello.
Hello. Hi.
And if I have to say that take cut and do it again, you fired.
God damn it, Mark. I mean, Mr. Holiday.
So I'm much more detailed now in book 5 than I was in book 1 because I know in my head everything is going to be a movie at some point. So I have to write it so it won't be so hard to translate from book to movie script. So that is just some learning things that I've done.
You gotta keep the book. Like, there's a reason people like the book better than the fucking movie. Have you ever read a book that was based on the movie?
No.
It's fucking horrible. It's horrible. Because like you watch the movie and like they have to write the book off the movie. Like,
yeah,
it's not great. It's not great.
Nope. But
One of my
I have
favorite
loved the
writers of all time
process.
is Michael Crichton. He
Yes.
wrote Jurassic Park,
Right.
China Syndrome, like The Running Man. Like he's fucking phenomenal. Okay,
Yes.
so he wrote Jurassic Park, which is one of the best books
Yes.
I've ever read in my fucking life. It's so
Yes.
good. It's so goddamn good. And then they came out with Jurassic Park: The Lost World.
Yes.
So here's what happened. Jurassic Park was such a big fucking blow up. They put a bunch of money into a wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
And they took it to Michael Crichton. And I go, here. And it was basically they already had the movie kind of written.
Right.
So Michael Crichton now has to write the book off of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the worst fucking books I've ever read in my life. It was just doing it. Yeah, don't think about the movie at all
Right.
when you're writing
Right.
your book
Nope.
because it
Nope.
doesn't fucking work. It just
Nope.
I like that I'm giving you advice about how to write.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah.
You know what I've written? I write sentences. like, hey, this sentence is gonna be funny. You know, like,
You so
I got no idea how to write a fucking novel, but here I am going, hey, you know, Jene, you know what you ought to do? It's like my mom watching me cook. Like I can cook and she can't, but she's standing there off to the side going, you know what you ought to do.
Right. You ought to put this in there. It's all good.
You ought to shut the fuck up is what you ought to do. So anytime you can just go, Jene, you know what you ought to do, Mark? Shut the fuck up. That's what you
No. Hey, just because you haven't written don't mean you might not do it. So hey, you never know. And then you like, hey, you want to come over here and come write? And you know I will.
Hey, you want to get up here and do this? You want to write a fucking novel? Mark?
And so Mackenzie is in the first 4 books.
I don't want to write a novel.
You're so silly. Maybe I said the same thing. I was like, well, how am I writing? I ain't even want to read. But okay. Kind of foolishness is that? Not only did I write 1, I wrote 5, and I'm on 6, working on 6 now.
But I'm
crazy,
glad I give you advice on how to write. That's at least you're an award-winning writer, but at least I'm here, you know, in a basement next to a bathroom.
It's a nice one though.
Exactly, giving advice to a novelist.
It's all good. That's all good.
I am.
That is, hey, that's who you are. I take it. Yeah, I love it. So Mackenzie is in the back of the first 4 books, and I think book number 1 was dedicated to her because I dedicated to several different people, so I can't remember right now. But I also have therapists in the back of those 4 books for a reason, because sometimes people want to get therapy, but they don't want to go to the people that they know. So I'm giving them somebody they don't know so they can get the help that they need. So
there you go.
That's also in my books as well.
That's awesome. And the name of your books are go ahead and
okay. So the first 2 is Living Life After Death 1 and 2, and then the second, 3 and 4 is Living. Hold on, I'm sorry. So the first 2 is What Death Do We Part 1 and 2,
sure
and then 3.
Anyway,
yes.
I'm just asking. Come on.
Look, I done did so many, I'm forgetting what I did. Okay, book 1 and 2 is What Death Do We Part 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 is Living Life After Death 1 and 2, and then book 5 is The Lies That We Live. Yeah,
The Lies That We Live.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that title.
Always something serious.
And no shit, like we would rather live lies than reality.
Hey, that's what the book talks about.
Like just from the title, I know you get it because I fucking get it. Like just with one sentence. Again, one sentence.
Yes, one sentence.
I'd rather live a lie than live actual reality.
Oh, and then book 3, 4, and 5 are all supernatural. So put that in there. I'm staying in the supernatural world. I love it. It's fun and it's erotic. I have some sexual content in all 5 books, but the
Mm,
sexual content
mm,
and the
mm.
supernatural with the
Now
fantasy
we're
world.
talking.
And it is something to watch. So
What do you got?
me and my
What did
husband,
you say? 6 kids? Is that what you got?
it is something to watch because I
I
usually have
I'm not
a
saying that you've experienced a few things. I'm just gonna say,
well, not necessarily all me,
uh, let's see. What is it?
we go in
9
depth,
out of
but
10 humans like fucking. So I guess
that is really it's not so it's easier said than like written. It's easier done than written. So you have to write out all the whole
and as a guy, sometimes it's 9 out of 10.
experience. Huh? What they say?
I said, and as a guy, 9 out of 10 times it's easier said than done.
Right. Than written. Yeah. Easier done than written, but it gets done and it's been awesome to watch. Me and my husband do this thing called R&B and reading, where we have a narrator. He sings his music, some of his songs integrates with some of the characters of the book, and we read to a group of people, and their reactions have been just phenomenal, funny, interesting, very interesting to watch. They pass out, they put napkins over their face, they fall out, they slide under their chairs just from reading the book. Yeah, it gets very interesting, but it's been fun to do. And yeah,
I like a book that can do that to you. Like
oh yeah,
I like a book that can do that to you. There's been several books where I've like thrown it down. Like you've read something and you went, what? And you just put it down.
yeah.
You've got to set it down for a second.
Yep.
You've got to digest what you just fucking read.
Yep.
And then of course you got to dive back in. But that's beautiful though. Yeah, and that's a feeling you can't just replace by like
right.
Sure, you can pause a movie or something like that, but a book, something about a book, because a book, you've got the narrative in your mind. It's
right.
Everybody in their mind, everybody looks different in every individual's mind. And everybody has a different personality in everybody's mind. You know, like no matter how you describe that character, in everybody's mind, it's a different character. But like when you hit them with something so hard that they fucking throw down the book for a second, or slide under the table for a second,
yes,
put a napkin over their face for a second.
Yes, because even like when I had my narrators, they had never read it. They agreed to read it, but I didn't give it to them before it was time for the show. And as they were reading, the words was creeping up on them, and they were just looking at me. I'm like, "What? Keep reading. What are you looking for? Read the book." My husband jumped in. He had to take over for one of the. It started the erotic chapter, but he didn't even know. And he started to read, and everybody was like, "Whoa, stop! Do that again. Read it again." Everybody had to take a drink of, a sip of wine and some water, because they was like, "Wait a minute, what she just say?" But it's very cool. It's very fun, and I'm having fun with this. And all of my books are only 90-minute reads, so it's nothing that's gonna be, words are not difficult. It's very easy to understand, but because it's supernatural, sometimes you really have to pay attention because it will jump, and you have to like, wait, hold on, where they went? Okay, then they come back a little later, like, oh, that's what happened. So that's with writing supernatural. Because sometimes the supernatural takes over, it no longer is a physical form. It's in the air. So we got to follow where they're going in the air.
Amazing. I'm so happy I got you on my show. I'm really
thank you.
Because it's a crapshoot. You don't know.
Right.
But I'm very happy that you're on my show. That's fantastic.
Yes.
I love what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
And everybody, and where can they find your books again? So everybody, we are talking to Jene Williams.
Hey!
There's something about the Williams names that's very cool.
So it's ejenellc.com. That's ejenellc.com. And it's right on the front. You'll see this face. I'll be telling you how to get to the movie, and then you can just press that button and all of the drop down to come, and you find the books, the movie, and just some history about me and who I am and what I've been doing. And I'm keeping up with myself because I have to update often because I do a lot of different stuff. So I kind of gotta keep it relevant and keep everything up to date. So
I think I told you that my actual last name is Williams.
Hey cousin.
So it's okay. I'm not saying talent.
Hey cousin. Well, my husband, he is the Williams of this, and he's the singer, so he's the voice. So yeah, so here he is. There he goes. Hey.
How you doing,
man? So he's the R&B superstar around here. So he.
God damn it! No, I can't hit on you.
I think your wife will kill you. Okay.
Look, here's what my wife says. And I love her. You think I'm funny?
Oh, I heard you.
Is a blue-eyed, redhead, beautiful woman.
Oh.
She goes. Nobody wants to be with anybody that nobody else wants to fuck.
I mean, well, she should definitely read the book. Like, yeah.
I want women to hit on you. She's like,
right.
You don't want to be with anybody. Goes, oh God, no.
Right. Oh, yeah. You want an attractive person. Absolutely.
You as well. And him. I'm not gay, but that's a good looking man.
So. Yeah. Hey, that's your cousin. We cousins now.
Oh God. You should meet my wife. She's fucking hilarious.
That would be super.
All right, so let's do this. Let's go into a funny or embarrassing life story, and your husband is more than welcome. More than welcome to join in on this. The more the merrier. The more stories we have, the better it is. And the funny thing is what I love about what I do. And I don't edit anything. There's no editing in anything I do. Like what you say, that's it. It's cut,
that's it.
Print, fucking boom. We're moving on. So,
okay.
So yeah, absolutely. All the funny or embarrassing life stories you or your husband have, I want to hear them.
All right. So embarrassing for me, the one that my family always joke me about the most. They joke a few things, but the most they joke about is when I was learning how to drive, and we lived on this little country road. And so my dad pulled in. He was like, hey, drive the car to the house. And I was like, okay. So I drove it down. And my sister was like, stop, I'm going to jump in the car with you. So I think, so I was 15. She was 10. And so she jumps in the car with me. I parked the car. Daddy walked from the mailbox. And he make it to the house. And he said, nah, it's crooked. Back up and fix it. And I was like, okay. So I backed the car up. And I forgot which pedal was the brake. And I ran into the house. Oh my God. So it was bad enough I ran into the house. My sister, I don't even know how she got out the car and up the steps in the house so fast. So I think she dashed across the hood of the car, ran upstairs to my mom. And my mom was headed to the door because the house shook. And she was like, what's going on? And she come outside and the car is under the house. And she was just like, what are you doing? And my dad was like, it's my fault. It's my fault. I told her to move the car. She had the car parked, but it was crooked. And, it was crazy. And they talked about me so bad.
Now, how many? I had a '67 Chevy Impala.
Hey.
And the oh God, you could hide like 5 fucking people in the trunk. A gangbang in the back seat. Like it was like it's this huge car. And
right.
So, like the brake line ruptured.
And
so I cut the brake line and I took some like surgical tubing. And I'm like, well, this will hold the liquid in. And that's all I'm thinking is that this will hold the liquid in.
Right.
And it did. But when you stepped on the brake, well, the liquid, like it was rubber, so it expanded.
Oh,
like, no. Like in my mind, I can see it like happening down underneath in my mind because I stepped on the pedal and the pedal didn't fucking work. And we had these big old like whiskey cask barrels next to the garage. And I ran straight into it, it was a concrete garage, and I hit it, and then the barrel just fucking exploded.
Yes.
Like, I remember sitting there just shaking, and then like I swear it was like 10 seconds or something like that. But anyway, the top of the fucking barrel lands on the hood of the car. Like it exploded.
Oh wow, you had a whole. I need that movie scene. That's a movie scene right there.
I'm sure it was like a fifth of a second, but in my mind, yeah, it's like 10 seconds in my mind.
Yes,
I still was like, ah, like, yeah, and then the barrel just the hood of the top of the barrel lands on the hood of the car.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we've destroyed some things, huh, cousin?
Well, I fucked up some shit.
So this one time, back to a car, I was so my friends so like I'm from the country, so we didn't like have neighbors, but we had like people that lived down the street or road.
Yeah. I'm a country boy.
Yes. So she lived through the pasture. Yeah, I could walk to her house through the pasture would be quicker than actually walking to the top of my yard and then walking down the highway, because it wasn't a street, it was an actual highway.
Oh, so I lived on a dirt road. Like, this is a dirt fucking road.
I wasn't that bad. We had paved. Now my driveway was dirt, but the road was paved.
Yeah, no. Not this guy. Dirt road, gravel.
So she told me, I'm going to race you to the corner store. So I jump in my car. She already in her car. She done passed me. So instead of me going through the actual driveway, I cut across the grass. Now, mind you, we had a little hump from the ground to the road. And I didn't know about this slant thing at the time, because I think I just got my license. So I was freshly 16 and my parents just let me drive all over the place. I got a cramp in my ankles and everything. I didn't even know your ankle could get a cramp, but I did. And so instead of me going the way I should have, I went through the yard and I hit the embankment coming out. And so the car kept going, but it made this noise. And when we stopped at the store, I had a whole flower bed under the bottom of the car. She was like, "Are you planting flowers in your car?" I was like, "Planting flowers? No."
The bottom of your car.
It was horrible. It was horrible. We had to go wash it. It was a big dent. My dad was like, "What did you do?" It was horrible. It was horrible. I was like, "What am I doing?" It's horrible.
That's hilarious.
I still, every time I see that type of car, it was a 97 Mercury Tracer.
Is that right?
It was horrible.
I don't remember what my buddy's mom's car was, but he was dumb enough to let me drive it. And there was again, these are all gravel roads. This is Fulton County, Illinois, and there ain't shit in Fulton County, Illinois. Everybody kept asking me, "Why do you live here?"
Right.
Like, I don't know. I was fucking born here. So anyway, he gives me. There's this hump on this like 3-corner area, and I'm like, I'm gonna jump the car. Like,
yeah.
And I did, and I mean, it was his mom's car. It hit, and I could feel the entire bottom of the car, like. Wham! Like it hit, like and you know, back then seatbelts were optional, so nobody fucking wore them, and we both fucking smacked our heads off the fucking roof of the car and came back down. And like I'm like, okay, Andy, why don't you go ahead and drive home? Like, right? Why don't you go ahead and take me home first, then you go on home.
That's right. Take me first and go on. But yes,
I had a history of fucking up things at these people's lives.
Yeah.
And young. I'm talking 5, 6, 7 years old when he had all these sheds outside of his house. I don't know why he had all these old sheds. But, we dug a tunnel underneath one of these sheds. And me and Andy were down there and we were playing around with fire and stuff like that. And like, it was like couple days later, I go down there and I'm like, I'm gonna build a fire too.
Right. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I burnt their fucking shed to the ground.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it started getting like really heavy, like the smoke
Yeah.
started getting really thick, and I like jumped out of a fucking window and got out. Yeah, he's like, and I remember his dad yelling, "Don't you ever come back here again!"
You got banned. That is hilarious.
Shed.
Right. OMG. Well, we were, yeah. 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 Yeah, my mom only knows about what my mom and my dad only knows. Well, no. Okay. So my mom knows about the house, but my dad knows about both because I had to tell my dad. He had to help me hit it out, the dent.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The thing about that 67 Impala,
Yeah.
didn't dent anything.
Anything. Absolutely. Yep.
Those fucking cars from the 60s.
Yes.
You could have drove those through the World War II fucking battle.
Yes. And never got hit.
You don't need a tank. You need a
Right.
67 fucking Chevy Impala.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Super.
The things you know, like I don't know, like you got a story about like what you didn't tell your parents?
Let me think.
I bet your husband does.
He done got out. He done walked away.
Oh, did he?
Let me see. It's a lot I ain't telling, but I'm trying to find out the good stuff. My what I didn't do.
No biggie at all. So.
Yeah, I can't think of nothing right now. No good one.
All right, who's your craziest friend?
Oh Lord, my craziest friend, her name is Ryan Richardson or Jackson, because she did get married. So yeah, she was just in our wedding. Yep, I've been knowing I'm 37. So I've been knowing her 30, 33, 4, 5, 6, 7, 32, 3, 4, 5, 32 years.
Nice. Okay. Big shout out.
That's the one that raced me to the store. Got that sandbox in my front. In the front of my
now you can actually like show her like the show and say,
yes, and she gonna want to come on. Like, I gotta plead my case. I gotta plead my case.
If you want her to come on, if you two want to come on, you're more than welcome. You're more.
Oh God, we'll have so many stories because we were Girl Scouts. Oh, well, that was no. My mom was my troop leader. Go figure. Then I worked at Girl Scouts in college. I had an office and everything as an early 20-year-old. So
I was a Boy Scout, which doesn't say a lot about the Boy Scouts. like literally, like I'm like this very like urban guy. Like not urban. I live in a town now. You know?
Right.
Like I live in a real kind of a city thing.
Yeah.
But I grew up like out in the country. Like if you used to drop me off in the woods with a knife, I'll live.
Right. Right.
You know? But I don't belong there. I don't want to. I don't want
to.
It. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
As soon as I got
don't drop me off of it.
I went, this looks fun.
When we leaving?
No, look at there's people. And I like people. And I like oh, I'm gonna talk to that guy, you know, like
Right. So yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you've got the floor again. Tell everybody about you, where they can find you, and what you've got going on. And you are an absolute delight. I just want to let you know.
So I am Jene, author. Yes. 5-time self-published author, 2-time Amazon best-selling author, 2-time award-winning author. My first book is a movie, and motivational speaker, radio host, wife, mother, sister, cousin, friend, all that stuff. And you can find all of my books and the movie streaming live right now on ejenellc.com. That's EJENELLC.com. Yep, that's me.
Awesome. Fantastic. Fantastic. And hang out after I sign off here. I want you
Okay.
to hang out, chat afterwards.
Okay.
And of course, we are My Worst Holiday. And that's right. Send us money. Send us money, you sons of bitches. You can find us at patreon.com at My Worst Holiday. Give us $1, you cheap fucking pricks. Give us a little bit of something. If you like a show, if you like somebody, send them a little bit of love. It doesn't cost but $1. God damn it, $1. That's it. And then from a room next to my bathroom in my basement, this has been My Worst Holiday. Good night, everybody.
Good night.